Hello, and thank you for joining me this afternoon and taking the time out of your very busy schedules. I hope that there is something within here that is a benefit to you or to someone that you know. Please like, subscribe, share this video. Some of you might know, I'm trying to get some content down so that I can kind of go to a topic that I want to cover um, as well. It's the idea, is the concept of the American spirit today and that of the small business owner, which is part of what is American culture, is the small business owner, the free capital system we kind of have going on. Yeah, there needs to be at times restrictions, etc. I don't know necessarily set by the government, but again, we're in a time of big government and despotism, as we can kind of see. Now, those who have been following my channel know that I kind of write some episodes in advance. There's a couple episodes I have written up, and I'm just trying to figure out which ones to do today. So I was kind of thinking about um, covering a topic which in its own way is kind of dear to me. One of the problems that I see with American government right now, with our leaders, is something called accountability. Now, at the same time, there is this strange cult-like movement with regards to, some would say cancel culture, but that's for another video, I think. It's definitely anti-American culture that's going around right now. I wanted to take more of a look at today to the words with regards to those who are our elected leaders and the people that we put in positions of power, or the people who are put in positions of power after our elected officials leave. The word I wanted to look at, okay, is accountability. And this is a word that I have the impression that most people don't like, especially if they're a politician or deal with government accounting. See, this is where I get to talk about how much our country is different and that it is unique in its formation and growth. And part of it, again, is the idea of the capital system that we have. Not a command down economy, not some type of an authoritarian economy, but a sort of a free market capitalist economy. And in a free market, you get paid fairly for the work and goods that you offer or do. America is kind of a melting pot of the best of all cultures and beliefs, and we tend to throw away the worst. For some reason, there seems to be some people who believe more that we should continue to separate ourselves. I am often, at the moment, left to think about, for just a brief moment, infinite wisdom and infinite diversity. And you don't really get that with a lot of this anti-American culture that's going around right now, where you hear people saying America is racist or systemically racist or all of this, which isn't true. This is them projecting their own beliefs forward. And even like with the vaccine mandate, where we're being told the government knows what's best for us, or someone knows what's best for us. And again, as I pointed out previously, our founding fathers kind of believed differently here in America. Part of the American culture is that there is a higher power above our government, above each person, because we are all created equal. Documents left behind for us to aspire to be better, because no man or woman is born perfect. There's one dude about 2,000 years ago. Anyways, there's a whole argument about that as well. So nobody is born perfect. Like the documents, it is left for us to aspire to be better as a country, as a people, as a nation. Anyways, I want to show a demonstration real quick here of why I say the leadership that we have is lacking. Let's take a look at Pete Buttigieg. Okay, how important is this guy that he can take 2 months off of work and no one notices that he's not at his job? As administration secretary of transportation, goods going there with the blockage of the ports. You all remember when the Suez Canal got a little blocked? That was saying that there was going to be global wide kind of backing complications to the transportation of goods globally. So what happens at the same time, about the same time, he takes 2 months off of work. So it's worse that he took the 2 months off of work and no one noticed. Save maybe the bare shelves that you see at the stores, or that that he needed to take 2 months off for maternity leave. This is 2 months. This is communist America. He and his husband adopted 2 children, which is why they had to take he had to take 2 months off of maternity leave. Yes, him and his husband adopted children. Okay, again, that's a socialist thing, not a capitalist thing, that maternity leave stuff. But why on earth did someone in charge of transportation take 2 months off? Okay, he knows he's responsible. It's his responsibility to help make sure that the ports don't get full, or worse, blocked or empty while ships sit out there. It's kind of his job to kind of step up some with that. We're missing 80,000 truckers, I hear, right now. What's going on with that? Oh, well, So a crisis is happening in the country, and he needs to take time off for his husband and him to adjust to the new additions. 2 months of paid leave now. Talk about being spoiled. That is where you become America's spoiled. But then again, obviously, only in a government position could you do that. That says something about where our taxpayers' money is going as well. I'm a little upset that this man took 2 months off to do a job that he's not doing. So again, who's being accountable? Now let's look at Fauci. It's coming out today. Mainstream news. Fauci lied to Congress when Senator Dr. Rand Paul spoke to Congress. He told Senator Rand Paul that there was no gain of function research. But turns out there is. NIH is coming out with information saying there is. But here's the thing. They're saying there was no human gain of function research. Yeah. Again, where is the accountability in what Fauci's done or the virus? All it's allowed is them to use mandate and force down mandates upon the American people through executive order, which again, it breaks the system. The president is not a king. He is just an executive. So back to the point I was working at. Because of our economy and the accounting system is different than anywhere else in the world, yeah, American accounting really is a specialty skill. And tax, well, buckle up, buttercup. Did you know that about 61% of the population pays no federal tax? About to change, though. About the top 1% of the 21% of income earners pay 41% of federal income tax. This goes back to something I've said in the past, that it's easier to take $15 from all of the people and then continue to tax the 1% to pay their fair share. That's why Mr. Biden said he wanted to fundamentally change U.S. economy as we know it. I get worried when he says that, because part of the American economy is also, again, part of that, which is the American culture. Okay, so here's a hot tip. American accounting is different than world accounting, as I said, but it's also different than government accounting. Instead of a C Corp, a publicly traded company, being charged 43% tax, they will be charged an ordinary income at 3.8% tax. Now, with this new tax law coming out, that means that there's going to be a decrease in the amount of overall taxes that the government is currently collecting. So how are they going to make up the difference when they keep saying that everybody needs to pay their fair share? Now I'm hearing rumors that Biden wants to have all businesses taxed as if they're pass-through entities. That includes C Corps. Okay, what does this mean? Raise the taxes to change that the small business owner pays more taxes at a much higher rate, as much as 43% of your total income as an independent contractor. All businesses, regardless of size or income, will be taxed the same tax rate on the federal level as if they were a C Corp. And all income now becomes that as if it was a pass-through entity. It leaves me worried that the next step is that the tax all non-W-2 at the 43% tax rate as well. This is where I am reminded of the $600 transaction with the IRS. I know it's been updated lately. Recently been changed to 10,000 annual income in a bank account. Okay, yeah, that's just another way to keep tabs on most Americans and make it for the year instead of per transaction. So this is something that is set to go after new money. Now, as for taxing old money, Biden plans to tax on unrealized gains on assets. What does this mean for people? Okay, well, in the state that I'm in, there's a lot of families that have property and have owned it for over 300 years. Okay, given to them by Coronado when he came through the region. So it's been handed down through the generations. With Biden, he wants to tax the unrealized value of the property. It means that he wants to tax you on the value of the property upon inheritance of the property, at the value of what its unrealized value is. I know that's an accounting term, which means what the current market would pay for that property is what you're taxed at. That's real great to hear for farmers. The Biden administration wants to also change the definition of relatives. And the reason for this is, as far as tax goes, is that if you leave unrealized assets to the family, it's taxed at a higher tax rate than if you'd left the money to a non-relative, or maybe say a foundation or the government. So expect a lot of the rich to now donate their money to foundations with which their heirs control. Just another tax loophole. Except for those who can't afford, who don't have the millions of dollars to put into a tax or to create a foundation. Tax laws are set to guide the morals of the country. One of my instructors once had told me, the 2021 tax season is looking for the highest of capital gain tax in America in 60 years. And this is just a simple 2% raise, which will put us at the highest capital gains tax in the world. So buckle up, Americans, as I said, you're about to have your taxes increased. So this spending plan, he says, it ain't true. It will cost you. And of course, at the moment, Republicans are no better as they just push back the debt ceiling, as we've recently heard. Again, what does this do? It postpones a votorama, which again would cause accountability. Why? Because they'd have to vote on each individual line item and therefore be held accountable to the voters to see exactly how they vote. So this whole thing with the filibuster and this whole thing of just passing this big budget is a way to dodge accountability once again by the despot authoritarians in government at the moment. We have local elections coming up. Most places in America do. I encourage you to look into it. Think for yourself. Vote. Nonviolent civil disobedience. Go out and vote, America. Take these despots and get them out of office. So as I was saying, Republicans are no better because they just keep pushing back the debt ceiling. Americans need to balance the books before it becomes too late, which it might be. I know that Biden has gone from 3.5 to 1.57, but again, it's still money we don't have. Spending we can't afford. We need to balance the books before it becomes too late. Does it mean that we have to cut Social Security and disability? Why is that one always brought up first when you tell people you need to balance the budget or you need to make a cut? It's just my 2 cents. Inflation, and the government admits that is 6%, and Social Security was only getting a 1.6% increase. Now I hear that they're saying it's a 5%. So we'll see. So what's the cut the government can't keep up with its own inflation estimates as it is? So what do they do to cut inflation? They threaten to print $1 trillion coin. Now that's going to make things even worse. And I did a whole video on the $1 trillion coin. So I want to leave you with these words. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. Benjamin Franklin. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to join me. I hope that there is something in here that you found a benefit to you or to somebody that you know. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, or leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you about it as well. Thank you very much, and I hope you have yourself a very beautiful day.